Ice Cream Conversation. Ice Cream Conversation. Let's go. Forever on the grind all day, every day. Ice Cream Convos, always real, they never play. Download the podcast, listen on any day. Why didn't I do this sooner? Only thing you ever say. Xaviera, best host of all time. All of the faithful listeners will say they never lie. Check every story they run, like me with the rhymes. When other shows report anything, it should be a crime. Entertainment news, yeah, I gotta get mine from ICC, and you should be inclined to do the same if you got half a mind. I do co-sign this lady to shine like Frankenstein. Cut it the day design. IceCreamConvos.com. Tune in, yeah. This influence by IceCreamConvos.com.
Hey, ICC friends, welcome to the Ice Cream Convos Podcast, where we serve delicious scoops of entertainment and celebrity news. And today I am especially excited to be talking to Mr. A.R. Hilton. Not only does he write films, he directs films, and he has a brand new film out right now, and it is called Anonymous Killers. So I had the pleasure of checking out this film.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I had the pleasure of checking it out. Now, you got the right girl. Because
okay, let's go. You a movie head? Okay, let's go.
You just don't understand how much I love movies. So I was all excited. I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to dig in. Let's see what's going on. And immediately I was drawn in. There's so much I want to talk to you about with this.
I'm ready.
I have to be careful though, because I don't, I'm very.
You can't give up no spoilers.
No, you don't want to do that. I cannot. But before we hop into the film, let's just talk a little bit about you, and then that'll go ahead and settle my spirit down about the film, so I don't tell anything too early. But let's talk about you, Mr. A.R. Hilton. Yeah. How did you become not only a film writer, but a film director? Because many, many years ago, I wrote my own little film. I might have to pull you to the side and talk to you about it, see what we can work out. But how did you come to write Anonymous Killers?
Anonymous Killers. First of all, I became a writer. I'm an ex-con. I became a writer in prison. Let's say I rediscovered writing, because I started writing when I was like my first summer youth job with the Urban League in Mount Vernon, New York. That was my first writing experience. I was with a group of other youths that was working for them at the time, and they sent us out to the Apollo to interview the people at the Apollo.
Oh, wow.
The history of the Apollo. So this is like early, like 84, 83. So we went there. So that's when so we interviewed them, and I had the team trusted me to do the writing. So that was my first writing experience. Mm-hmm. And then I went away to prison at 19. And after 10 years of being in, I rediscovered writing with a friend who me and him co-authored a book together. Okay. And it awakened something in me that it was an outlet. First of all, it was an escape, being in prison and then finding a way to really get lost in my stories and my characters and stuff like that. So I really and then at the time I was doing a lot of reading with black writers, like James Baldwin is a big influence. Yeah. I got from him the understanding of how to tell a story or be relatable to those who wasn't relatable. And I think Anonymous Killers is a perfect example of that, with the wide, broad demographic of cast being so broad. So, and that, in a way, that's what James Baldwin would do when he would talk about the struggle of Black people during his time. He did it in a way that made people who had no understanding of our experience kind of open their eyes to a degree of what Blacks was going through in the cities, emerging cities. So I took that from him to try to really incorporate the signs of the times, the struggles, and our experiences, without really on the surface it being that, what I'm saying? Kind of trick the viewer into it. You think it's about this, but it's about so much more. And So I got into that, and I just love writing. It's just a powerful medium. It's just like writing is a powerful. Film is super powerful in the sense that it incorporates all art forms, you know. So that's how I got into it, and I was like, I love it. Like, I love to be able to create something out of nothing, and writing is the easiest way to accomplish that.
Well, one of the things that I want to touch on, because as you were talking, and shout out to our NYICC friends. I saw you. I'm from Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. I'm in Atlanta, but I'm a Jersey girl. So
Jersey
to the up tops.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the things that you said that I just wanted to kind of circle back around to was that, you kind of found that writing was something that you loved to do as a young person. And, sometimes we have those gifts, but then life kind of takes us in a different direction and it kind of pulls us away from those gifts. So I just want to say that I am happy, personally, that despite what you went through, despite your incarceration and, the lemons that you were given, you made lemonade while you were inside, you reconnected with your gift of writing.
Yeah.
And now, is it safe to say that you wrote Anonymous Killers inside? Okay.
I wrote it like 17 years ago.
Wow.
I wrote it like in 2003.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here it is. It's here. Now it is here, guys. Anonymous Killers is here.
It's relevant to the time.
Oh my God.
More so then. More so now than then.
So can we talk about how you were ahead of the time? Because as I'm watching this film, I had no idea. If you hadn't told me that you wrote it so long ago, I would not have had any idea because it's so timely. Just some of the things that I noticed that was addressed in the film. You already spoke on the cast, the diverse cast. I definitely appreciate that because diversity is very important now. Yeah, people need to see themselves represented in every way, shape, and form. So we have this diverse cast. You hit on privilege.
Mm-hmm.
You touched on sexual assault with women. You touched on, the things that are going on in Africa right now with the rebels. And I'm just like, is he like really? Like
the sad thing about it,
that is still going on.
It's still going on. That's the sad thing about it, is that it's really like it's not like a homage to me. Like I didn't really do anything. The sad part about it is society hasn't corrected those problems. It's just that right now we're becoming, society in general, the younger generations are becoming more conscious and aware and involved. So it's more prevalent now, like, the film, like you said, touches on the objectification of women, like with the character Marlene, literally, you see what happened with her and whatnot, it's crazy. So you got that. Then you got, at the time, a lot of Americans were adopting like child soldiers and putting them in, like, it was a big thing at the time when I was writing the script around 2003, early 2000s, like people were coming from these war-torn places in Africa, and they would have articles, they'd be on the cover of Time magazine and stuff like that. So that kind of like influenced that story. And the idea when I started writing it, it started with just a title, which was originally Killers Anonymous. I came up with an idea talking to a friend, and it was Killers Anonymous. And I started playing with the idea because really, like, I'll play with a script in my head, an idea for a movie, and I'll kind of like give it legs in my head before I start putting it on paper, because it might be a dead end. And it just so happened Killers Anonymous was a dead end. And it's funny because a month after we put that we was going in production with the script on IMDb, another person took the old title that I had.
Wow.
And in production, Killers Anonymous. And that's the movie that came out a year before me. And I was so heated. I was like, yo, they stole my idea. Like they flipped our idea. And then I was like, my producer was like, you can't have a title. You can't hold a title or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, let's finish our movie before them. Well, they had Jessica Alba and all that. So they had more backing. They had, industry influence. So they got the movie done, which it flopped. I seen it. It was horrible. And I was grateful. They found out what I already knew the hard way. I knew that was a hard sell.
Yeah.
Death is not funny. You know what I'm saying? Only way you can do Killers Anonymous, it gotta be it had to be comedy. And in my mind, I was like, that don't work. So they didn't have the common sense to flip the title like I did, which was Anonymous Killers, which we dealing with something more profound, something more, society based. So once I got that umbrella and asked myself who was the anonymous killer, like who is the anonymous killers, and I did my research, the whole, because that was a social umbrella that dealt with society and so forth. All the characters, it just trickled down to make sense, to make everything socially inclined, to deal with those issues. So that's what I did. I dealt with those issues, and I was interacting with those various people, like the Italian story. Like I grew up on like mob movies and stuff like that, having chosen paths like that I was doing before I went away. So I was meeting people because I started my time in federal prison. So I was meeting all different like people from all over the world, all these like people that I would have never been around otherwise, growing up in the hood. So that influenced a lot of the backstories and stuff like that.
Well, can I just chime in to say that, because it's funny, as you're talking, you're like one of my favorite type of interviews, because while you're talking, it's triggering all these questions. And I'm like, well, chill, let him talk.
I started doing interviews. I learned to do that too, to like
Yes, because I'm a chatty patty by nature. Mm-hmm. So it's like, sometimes I forget I'm doing an interview and I'm thinking, like, it's more of a conversation rather. But one of the things that I wanted to touch on was that, you mentioned that, being in prison, you were exposed to people from all different types of backgrounds. And that makes sense because in the film, a lot of times when there's films where they give the background on each character and they develop each character as it's going along, your characters were fully developed. Yeah. Sometimes it's like they'll just give you a little morsel that's like, okay, this is her. She from New York and she like dogs, but each character was fully developed. And another topic that you touched on was immigration. And that was another topic that you touched on in the film that just came to me when I thought about one of the characters. But each character was fully developed, and while the film is Anonymous Killers, and of course, it is a thriller, and it is some, it's some killings going on. So there, not obviously, there's some killing going on, but each character was fully developed. And with that being said, it's like one of the things that I thought was beautiful about the film was that you made it very clear that even the worst person, people who are deemed the worst people in society, there was a reason, there was a trigger, there was a catalyst that sent them on that particular path.
Yeah, Lord of hope.
Yes. And I think that you laid that out beautifully in the film to make it understandable, oh, well, they're just not doing this just to be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Each person had something, and it starts making you kind of look at yourself like, well, do I act like this or do I do this as a result of this? And it causes self-reflection on a certain level.
That's the point. And that was the whole idea of the movie. Once, again, the movie basically equates to my experience as a young Black male in the criminal justice system, and just the resentment and just the disdain when the way they looked at me and the way they just easily just threw my life away. Like, yeah, take this 20 years. Yeah, you 19, but ain't no hope for you. Take this 20. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you come home and come right back. So that kind of that influenced the story, and it also motivated me to come home and do something different that in a way that not only gives back, but have a message. Like the whole James Baldwin thing, like just to be able to share my experience, because it's a common experience. You know what I'm saying? Sadly, it's a common experience. Yeah. So to be able to put that in an art form and be able to share it and give it back and have people come back and start a conversation. So definitely. Yeah, you did that, sir. Mm-hmm. Great job. This film is definitely going to be a conversation starter. Of course, a few things I didn't see coming. My audience is already saying no spoilers because they know how I get. No spoilers. So your whole crew, they movie has, huh? Your whole crew gets in front of the screen. All right, that's a director. But not when we did our screening in Atlanta. Atlanta I was surprised by how knowledgeable and insightful they was in just the whole film. Like they really like they asked like really like film questions that like wow, like they get it, like they really got it. Because a lot of times, like when the film first came out, a lot of people just didn't get it, like on so many levels, and it's subjective, so I get it, but I really want people to get it. I really want people.
How is that for you as a writer and a director? Because I'm a writer in a sense, not a film writer, but I write entertainment, celebrity news. I write about movies. I write about films. I write about TV. I write about celebrities. And sometimes I will put things out and I mean it one way and it's interpreted a totally different way. And I'm at home like, that is not what I meant. Like, how is that for you as a director and as a film writer? Like, is it something that is just kind of roll with the punches, or do you really like be at home, like fighting at the air, like Trey and Boys in the Hood?
I try to find a solution, like with like people not knowing that the movie was made by a Black director, so the same thing, like where I try to find a solution, like how do I let people know? So I was like, okay, let's do a tour. Let's go to all the major cities. Let's do a tour. Let's go meet our people. Let's talk to our people. Because I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, like presenting it to the world. Like, okay, they taking it. They see their reflection. They getting it. But my people don't, like, they see it and they don't, you know what I'm saying? So I had to take it and be like, yo, this is a Black man story. Not only a Black man story, but a Black man who went away to prison for almost 20 years. So I had to do that. So when people don't get it, I kind of like from an artist perspective, like what will become of it is like, you just got to accept it because it's subjective, it's art. And, but it's interesting to have the conversations with people that watch the movie and whatnot, and then like kind of like quizzing them on certain aspects of the movie. So it's interesting. It's rewarding in another way in that sense.
Yes. Now, you mentioned, that you did some time in prison. And so I'm kind of looking at you as a untraditional success story. There are not many people who can say they went to prison, almost did about 20 years and came and prison was like, you know what? I'm going to write a film. I'm going to get back into my film writing, come out, actually make the film.
Actually make it. Yeah.
The film gets done and then you go on tour and now you are a known filmmaker and you are doing press, you on Ice Cream Conversations, bro. I mean,
Mama, I made it. I'm on top of the world.
Mama, you made it. Yeah. And it's like, for me, that says a lot to the person who is at home feeling like they can't do it, or they feeling like, this is not attainable. Like you are an untraditional type of success story. And congratulations to you on that. A lot of my audience are creators. A lot of my audience, they either want to sing, they want to act, they want to write, they want to direct. What do you say to them? Even as far as like, how do you go about getting a film made? Even if you have the gift to write it, how do you go about getting a film made and getting it out to the world?
It's a tough journey, but it begins with self-belief, believing in yourself. And just really for me, like it was just understanding the ability of the mind and whatnot and how it works. And once I understood that, and what I was able to understand is that like everything around me I was looking at people's minds. Like if I'm looking at this microwave, the stove, like that was a thought. Like somebody thought about that. Somebody thought about this. I see thoughts. I don't see like how other people look at things and see them. I see thoughts and think like just do a little research and think of how long it took people to accomplish these things that they invented, these things they created. They dedicated their lives to this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just don't put yourself in a box. Don't give it a time frame. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing it, keep doing it until it get done. And that's what I did. Like I would tell myself every day, like, I gotta do this movie. Cause I started production in the movie in 2015, ran out of money that same year in production at the end of production. and was like, what now? You know what I'm saying? So I'm out of money, and it took like another 3 years to get it up. Like I stopped and started like 3 times before I got the movie done. And then after I done it, was like, okay, get it in a can, and then let's raise money for post. So it was all these different phases. But the one thing about it, even like it was like years in between. Like every day, I always thought about my movie. I always thought about how I'm gonna get it done every day. Like I thought about how I'm gonna get this movie done. So it's a matter of just believing. Like if you got to shoot on the weekends for 2 years, shoot on the weekend for 2 years.
Right.
So it's just a matter of believing. And when you believe, the people around you that you surround yourself with people that believe in what you're trying to do. Because everybody's not going to believe. You're going to hear a lot of no's. But as long as you believe, despite those no's and this ain't that, then that's all that matters.
That's right.
But if you don't believe, then like you can't expect other people to do. And I don't entertain doubt. Minute like something doubt, like, oh, this is so, like I shake that out my head. Like I don't like that's like kryptonite to like the most powerful thing you possess, which is your mind. Like, and like I tell people, if you don't believe, just look at all the great things people created before you. You think it happened overnight? You know what I'm saying? Like they really put years in to create and bring something new to the world. And as artists, that's what we're doing. We're bringing something that's in our mind and we manifested it in the physical, and we want to release it to the world.
That's right.
So you just got to believe. You just got to believe. Really, where there's a will, there's a way. That's that. I know it sounds cliche, but our will, like that's our greatest asset as men and women. Our will, our ability to choose and make choices independent of nature. So that you got to use it to see your dreams or your passions through.
Absolutely. I'm accepting that message. You kind of spoke to my spirit today.
Facts.
You dropped gems. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Like, I don't care if it would have took me, if I'd have been 100 on a crutch behind a camera, it would have, that's what it would have been. It's all I had, because I seen what the other end of the spectrum looked like. You know, I don't want to do that no more. So that's what it boils down to.
Talk to me about the satisfaction of the first time you saw the completed film.
The first edit? Oh man. I was excited. I was just like, wow, like this is
all that hard work.
Yeah, it was hard work, and it's just like it's an euphoric feeling. Like I remember, my first thing I did was a short film in memory of my brother who was murdered a year after I came home. Okay. And I did a short film called The Death of a Prince. I never released it to the public, but it did a lot of festivals, a few festivals. And I remember when I went to LA and I was in the Black Hollywood Film Festival. Shout out to the Black Hollywood Film Festival, the first one to accept my film.
Okay.
So I went to LA. This is the first time I went to LA, and I went to LA for the screening with some family members and stuff like that. And the feeling I got while watching, the way the audience was captivated by the screen, was just like the dopest feeling ever. I was like, I got to do this again.
Give me more.
Yeah, so it's like I'm motivated by feelings like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're rare. You know, they're rare. I'm experiencing something that's rare. Can I do it again? You know, can I do it again? Can I do it again? So, like my fix. It was my fix. So it's very euphoric and motivating, and it just reinforces the belief in yourself.
Absolutely. So tell all of the ICC friends where they can see Anonymous Killers.
It's on Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, Vimeo, YouTube movie channel, like that. So it's on various. Only platform is not on is Hulu, but other than that, it's on all them platforms. Yeah,
it is on all those platforms. So, when we were having our little sidebar conversation, you mentioned something to me about working on a new film.
Oh yes,
I want to go on that.
Yeah, I can't. It's called Demise. I can't wait. Like it's dedicated to someone, you know, from someone from my past.
Yeah.
And, it's a dope film. I can't wait to do it. Wait to shoot it in New York.
What genre is it?
All my films got a little bit.
You're holding it in the can. I could tell in your face you don't want to tell me.
No, I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'm gonna tell you. Like all my films got so far, not all of them, but a lot of them got an element of superstition. Religion, because my grandmother was a big influence on me growing up. My mama, and shit, God rest her soul. And so it has that element, a spiritual element, an element of horror. But it's sort of like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes. Now, see, the reason why I asked what genre is because when you said it's about someone from my past, you kind of got a little twinkle in your eye. And I was like, is this a romance? Because you got a look in your eye.
Is that too?
No, it ain't all.
Yeah, it's that too. It's definitely that too. It's dedicated to my first love. It's dedicated to my first love. She was murdered while I was in prison. So it's dedicated to her. And like when I read the letter that she was killed, and I remember reading the letter in prison. I read it right, but my mind wouldn't accept it. So I'm reading car accident. Like I'm reading and I'm like,
yeah.
And then once I was able to gather myself and I read the letter again, it said murdered. And I was like, how? Like, why? Like this girl's in college. She's a college grad. She, her life or whatever it entailed and all of that. Right. So like, it's dedicated to her. The movie's like dedicated to her and her memory and her and her son. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a dope ass story. I can't wait.
Okay. I can't wait either.
Yeah. It's called Demise. It's the opposite. If you've seen A Wonderful Life, It's a Wonderful Life. It's the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? And Wonder Than Life, he thought he didn't really play a part in nobody's life. This dude played a part that just caused the demise of everything around him. So it's very dope. It's very dope. So I can't wait. It's by far it's my best script to date. By far. And I got like 5 or 6 of them, but this is the best one to date. Like to me.
Well, I just feel like I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't tell you many moons ago I had wrote a movie script.
Yeah.
And, I wrote something down. I don't know if it was literally.
What genre?
It was action, drama,
everything. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like even like I don't think none of my films is in one genre. I don't think.
Yeah, but it was like it was like a dope boy story with girls.
Yeah, with girls running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but y'all always run the show in hindsight. Like I tell people that Eve didn't trick Adam. She showed him what his possibilities, what he can become. You know what I'm saying? She showed him that he had free will to choose and become whatever he wanted in life. That he didn't have to, So it's not that he got tricked. It's that a woman always shows a man his possibilities of what he can become like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I might have to talk to you on the side about that film because part of me, after watching Anonymous Killers, I feel like my film might be a little bit of a flop. It might need some work around.
All right. To go to that, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit as writers. We'll talk as writers. What I've learned as writers, like you can make a cup of character.
Yeah, you can.
See? You can make a cup of character. So once you can tell your story a million different ways when you understand. Like you can make an idea character. It's so like that's what's so beautiful about writing. Mm-hmm. It's like you have your own world and you can shape it and do whatever you want to say whatever you want. So like when you say that it might need some work. It's just structure. It's not so much. I wouldn't say so much work. It's just developing. So you talked about my characters being well developed.
Yes.
I knew where they was going to end up. I knew before. Once I knew the premise and what I wanted to do, I knew where my character's going to end up. So I had to write a backstory,
right? That
would dictate their actions in the environment I was about to put in them. So what you read was the backstory. What you seen was the backstory. The only backstory you didn't see was the backstory I wrote for Miss Cole, the lead character who kidnaps everybody. So that's character development when you write the backstories to a character, and because you know that backstory is certain triggers that happen or may have happened in that backstory that if they're put in a certain environment, they're either going to do this or do that. They only got so many options because of what they've been through. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like I say that, and one of the things that helped me like understand that, how to play on that once I started writing, because I read a lot of books on theater, the philosophy of character. Some say it's action, some say it's they say that character is action, and then another person say character. I think it was as far as like the not the action but the background and who you are. So it's different thoughts on what character is. And one of the things in prison, like, you know, I've said this various times, is that we sit down and share each other's stories, sort of like we did in Africa, how the stories people would gather around. We would gather around and share our experiences and like just laugh and, you know, share our hearts and our loves and our who crossed us. And you would hear these like unbelievable stories. Mm-hmm. And they're not, because they got indictments that show some of this stuff, like this stuff really happened. Like this is an indictment, like, wow, these like crazy stories.
Right.
So that helped me in understanding that the real extent, and not just that, just going what I went through in prison, having went to prison, I thought it was like a physical environment. I went there ready to fight, ready to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then after being years in prison, everything is mental. The approach, I learned to approach things from a mental standpoint, and when you and learn to influence my environment instead of let my environment influence me. And that's what I got from sharing them stories, was able like this can happen as long as the environment and the backstory is aligned. Mm-hmm. As far as what a character does.
Absolutely.
But you got a script, make it. Like the technology, like I got a grant from Panavision, so I shot mine on film.
Wow.
As a first-time director, Panavision gave me a $600,000 grant. It was equipment, but I had like the best equipment, lenses, all of that.
We talking about Panavision. Yeah.
But I would have got a digital camera and did it too, you know? Yeah. Now I got to do to get it done.
I don't know, AR, you have inspired me so much. You are like inspiration in the flesh, and
thank you. I appreciate it.
Especially just after seeing the film and then talking to you and getting an idea of your personality and your backstory. Right. And, you know, you're just inspiring in every way, shape, and form. And
I was inspired.
Yes. And I just couldn't be more happy for you and for your success. And I want everyone to see this film. I want all of my ICC friends to check out the film, and then maybe we can come back and maybe set up questions. Some type of group discussion with you, like a Q&A with
definitely.
I have friends in high places, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all want to talk about
hey, you in Black Hollywood, you better know somebody.
Yes, absolutely. Tell people how they can connect with you to continue to support you and know when you have new films and projects coming out so that we can hold you down.
Okay, I'm AR_Hilton on all social media platforms.
Okay,
you know, IG, Facebook, Twitter. That's who I am.
And what about for the film?
For the film, it's at Anon Killers the film, on IG. And other platforms, it's the same thing, at Anon Killers film.
Okay, I'll make sure I link them. I'll give them everything they need. I'll make sure I link them up.
Yeah, if you go to my page, like my IG, all my pages got links that take you to the film, take you to, you know, more information about me and my play.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you taking out the time to talk to me and my ICC friends today. It's just dope to talk to like a real movie writer and a director and things. And I never imagined myself here, like going away, went away when I was a month after my 19th birthday, came home at 37. And like, it took 10 years for me to really like revisualize what I wanted to do in life, and have a vision for myself, a plan, and stick to it. And, I'm grateful. I definitely feel that I'm blessed. I definitely feel like, you know, I always feel like my ancestors is looking over me, you know, because I know what I've been through and I know what I faced growing up. And then like to see my brother, who was only 18 years old, who was in like similar circumstances, growing up in the same environment, to see him lose his life, it made me understand, really truly understand that I was here for a purpose, and that I just needed to keep pushing. And that's what I do. I just keep pushing. And at the same time, I try to give, I try to inspire. And I just want people to know that like you can start reshaping your life long before you come home in prison. A lot of people come home
and whatnot. And then they try to figure it out. Don't wait. Figure it out while you in there.
Right.
While you in there. Like I used to write the commerce department before I got in the film. I was trying to figure it out. I used to always write and try to get information. Like I would always ask people that I seen doing other things that I had no knowledge of to, show me how to do that. Cause I consider myself a student of life. Yeah. So I can't live a day or walk through this not wanting to gain any knowledge, because I know a lot of times what we face in our communities is because of lack of knowledge, lack of finance, lack of understanding of the dollar, lack of understanding for the simplest thing as community. We lack the understanding of community,
right.
And that hurts us more than anything else, to just the lack of community, to know that your neighbors, that your plight is the same and whatnot. I call it the crab in the barrel syndrome. Like it's so prevalent. It's so prevalent that especially jealousy is the lowest human emotion ever. You know what I'm saying? It's the twin to hate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just try to just stay positive and just keep pushing forward, man. Gotta have an objective, gotta have a goal. When I finish one, I always place another one in front of me. Keep me centered.
Absolutely. And knowledge is power. And that third knowledge will always keep you motivated.
Yeah, they can't take that from you. Yeah. They can lock you up. They could do whatever, but they can't take what you know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The only way to extinguish that is to extinguish you. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gosh, what a pleasure it is to talk to you. I would be like, so then, matter of fact, before you go, 2 questions. What is your all-time favorite movie? Number one. Okay, you know what? And I know that's a tough question.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I like to share it. Because my grandmother, my favorite movie is The Imitation of Life.
Sarah Jane.
Yeah. Is my grandmother, I used to thought I was special. I thought my grandmother used to put me on the movies and have me watch movies, but she had everyone, all her children, all her grandchildren watch this movie because she's from Georgia. And her mother gave her away because she was the darkest kid in the family. She was born in 1929. And because she was the darkest of her siblings, her mother gave her away. And so she used to watch that movie to let us know that, the pain that we can cause, like pushing someone away for the color of their skin or whatever. So, and I just recently found that out. So, yeah, that's my favorite movie. Wow. That's my favorite movie, The Imitation of Life. I don't watch it no more because I ain't got time to be crying like that.
Okay, listen. That film will take Imitation of Life. If you want 2 ugly cries, you got to go Imitation of Life and The Color Purple. Those they will be 2 ugly cries that you don't want people to actually see. Now, for me, I think it would be, I think I got like 3, but my top 2 probably would be Scarface and Color Purple.
What's the other one?
The Color Purple and Scarface.
Scarface. Okay, so you kind of like me. You on the same joint, because my joint is The Imitation of Life, and then the second one is Once Upon a Time in America. James Woods and Robert De Niro.
Okay,
4-hour movie.
Okay, because see, you about to get me started, because I don't know what it is. It's weird because I have this. I just love those bang bang shoot 'em up movies. I love Heat. If you ain't willing to walk, I love Heat. Casino, Scarface, all that. Goodfellas, all that.
Yeah, no question. No, because it kind of mirrors our environment in a way. It's a lot of things about it that mirror our environment. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I really don't know why. But I think it's an American thing. Like they say in Europe, they say in cinema in Europe, violence is like they try to limit violence, but they have no problem with nudity. America has the problem with nudity, but they have no problem with violence.
None with violence.
I think it's the culture.
No, I'm gonna circle back around to your own film.
Yeah.
I think what it is, just like in Anonymous Killers, like with the Heats and with the Scarfaces and with all that, it's like we see something in those films. We see something that we can either pull a life lesson from, because even in Scarface, it was a life lesson. Like he was like, the world is mine. Like, whose world is this? But anything in excess is no good. You know what I mean? Tony Montana came from nothing.
Yeah, everybody loved Rag the Victim.
It went out in a blaze of glory. So it's almost like, if you, I think
that by means the by means, I'm gonna make it by any means necessary attitude. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, yeah.
But
That
all of them have that some type of life lesson that, or either I'm just looking too deep into it.
Scarface, he wanted the world and he found himself alone in the world.
Yes.
It's a life lesson. He wanted the world, he got it, and found himself alone in it. You know what I'm saying?
Look at New Jack City, Nino Brown.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, look at that.
Yeah, it's good. We love those stories and whatnot. I got a different type of shoot 'em up movie and whatnot, like that I started and whatnot when I was in prison. So I can't wait. Like I got like about 5 or 6 scripts that's already completed. Like I'm just ready to go back to back.
Yes, I'm just so excited to see more. I really am excited to see more from you. This, for me, Anonymous Killers was a great introduction to you.
Thank you.
And having this conversation with you is just the icing on the cake. So I'm very excited. You have a fan and a supporter, because there's a difference between a fan and a supporter. A fan is here for the minute. A supporter,
support. Yeah, push. That's right. That's what I need. Like I need that support. I need that. Like I'm new to this industry. I'm new to this whole journey. I'm enjoying it, and like I can't like reviews is the most important thing as an independent director, is the reviews. If you enjoyed the movie or if you didn't like the movie, give me a review. Let's talk about it. Like that helps. That goes a long way. Rotten Tomatoes, go to Rotten Tomatoes, go to IMDb, go to whatever platform you watch it on, and just give a review. Let's talk about the movie,
Absolutely. Well, I won't take up too much more of your time, because it'll be 3 hours later and I'll be like, okay, but did you see one last film that I wanted to mention to you? And for some reason, I can't think of the name of it, but hopefully you will. But it was Andy Garcia and Jimmy the Saint.
Did I see that one?
Oh, Saint. Hold on. I have to pull.
Andy Garcia had a lot of movies in 2000, the early 2000s.
Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. People slept on that movie, and if you did
let me put it, because the Tenet just came out, and I just bought the Tenet on the platform.
Yeah. So for Tenet was, I think for me, I overhyped it in my head because, of course, it's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
So I overhyped it in my head, and the fact that they kept pushing it back because of COVID, they kept pushing the film back. And then he was adamant and persistent about it being released in theaters, because
he did himself a disservice. At this time, like theaters is adamantly pushing for your film to be in theaters is a disservice to you, because number one, they want that money back. They're gonna spend on that ad spend in that theater. So you putting yourself in the red when you're not going to yield the profits that you normally would in a theater. So
this whole thing is about experience, because they shot it with a IMAX. They shot it with an IMAX camera and all that. And
visually. That's why I said, if nothing else, I'm about to film. If nothing else, I get to see these stunning visuals they talked about.
I'll talk to you off air. I don't want to be on record talking crazy about Christopher Nolan. But yeah, so I did see Tenet, but it's called Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. People slept on this film because the name and the title of the film is so outlandish. When I tell you this is such a ill gangster movie, but it's called Things to Do.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna rent it
when you're dead. And if you see this film, you need to hit me up.
Hey, because that's how, like, even with The Usual Suspects, when it first came out, they dogged it. They dogged The Usual Suspects. They dogged it. And my kind of like ends like that, where everything just unfolds like nonstop. Like it just keeps hitting you, giving you the whole fucking story at the end. So people don't really people want everything at once. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of 10 times, those are people, some people like that, but some people get it and some people won't, because they want everything at once. They don't want to wait for everything to just unfold for them.
Absolutely. But Kaiser Sose is a legend, bro.
Kaiser Sose is a legend. That was a legend ass movie, yo. He a cult. That was a mean joint right there. And the reason why I like it, the reason why I really connected with it so much, because I'm a strong believer in the power of will. And when he said that he was willing to do what no other man would own, that's the only difference between them, is he had a stronger will than most men. And that's so deep. So deep.
the way I hollered when he finally shook his ankle out, when he was, I said, oh, shit. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Just hitting you upside the head like this. You like, hold on. You trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And he was doing that walk. And at the end, he shook that ankle out. I was like, bro.
Yeah. Everybody ran with that. Jay ran with that. Everybody ran with that. That was a dope cinematic moment. Like dope cinematic reveal. And that's when you have those moments in film, man, they unforgettable, man. They unforgettable. You know what I'm saying? I think I got that with the next one. This one is good to touch on it. This one is dope. But the next one, I think I got that with the next one. The next one, oh my goodness. The Miles, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to start filming and getting this done, start casting.
Yes.
I just got the I have my assistant, she just finished formatting the script. Because I wrote everything in prison.
Right.
I had to get it transferred into software and all of that done to give it to the producers so they can start going over it, budgeting it, like getting a budget. So like, it's dope, man. Like, I can't wait to shoot that one, man. I can't, like, I'm like, it's so personal to me, like, and everything. So I really can't wait to get to it. Like, I'm not even, like, I know I got to do the promo on this. I'm ready to start shooting while I'm still marketing this if I could. But.
It's funny because your excitement is making me excited because you're like, man, and I'm like, man, what's up?
Yeah. It's so relatable. Like, the story is just, and what inspired me, I see it because like I said, a lot of things inspired me, not especially cinematically. Like, I saw Crash and I was like, oh my fucking God.
That's another one.
I was like, yo, this is how a script's supposed to be written. Like, everything in that movie, like, there's nothing that's a filler. Everything is a part of linked together to take that story to where it needs to be.
Everything.
So that's the Maz. Everything.
Nothing went to waste.
Nothing went to waste. There was no fillers. Nothing. So I can't wait to get this to y'all. I can't wait.
Well, I'm excited for you. See, now 3 times I told you I was going to let you go. You see, I told you.
It's cold outside. I'm probably gonna watch a movie. I'll probably run a few areas before the snow start coming that they keep talking about coming with 50-mile-per-hour winds.
Okay, and then when you come back in, you can watch Things to Do in Denver when you're
watch Things to Do in Denver and the tenant and wait for my producers to get back to me on this.
Right. But meanwhile, the ICC friends will be watching Anonymous Killers. That's
yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna let you read the script. Nah, I'm not. You don't want to do that.
With my soul like that.
I'm gonna let you read it. I'm gonna let you read the script. I'm gonna send you the script. I'm gonna let you read the script so you can see what it looked like, what the process before and after. I'm gonna send you the script.
I am so excited. I'm just honored that you would even think of me for that. I am absolutely honored. Thank you.
You said you got one, so I'm gonna send you the script. If you really read the script for Anonymous Killers, it was so long. So like I didn't really understand budgeting. Yeah. I was everywhere with it.
I can see how that script would be long though, just based off of like just the development, like
all the stories, the back. It's like 5. It's really like 5 movies in one, like the backstories and all of that.
And I just want to tell you, I am also a fan of putting you in films, putting you in the right now, and then bringing in the backstory. I'm a fan of that. So when I saw that, I said, "Oh, this is what we doing."
Bringing in the backstory, yeah. But a bunch of stories and whatnot. Yeah, me too. I am too. I like if I could predict a movie, I will start watching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If I could predict the movie, so I like to watch stuff where I don't know what's happening. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's happening. Netflix got a movie on that's pretty good called 9999. It's kind of like an action police movie, but it's really, it had a lot going on. I didn't like the ending, but the movie, it engaged you because you really didn't know what was going to happen. But then after a while, it was a good movie. Okay,
I'll go downstairs and add that one. Oh man. There is one. Did you see Extraction?
The name sounds familiar. What is it about? Who's in it?
It's a Netflix joint. It's called Extraction, and it stars Chris Hemsworth, Thor. It's
I think he's going to get somebody, and it's like a shootout in the beginning. It start with that's me. Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, that's me. I seen it.
That shootout is so sick. That gunplay is so sick. See, let me get off this thing because I'm a turd. We're talking about gunplay.
Yeah. But I appreciate you having me on your platform and whatnot. I'm new to this. You know, everybody's making the experience so rewarding for me as far as just the way you guys is accepting me and like really like pushing what I'm doing. And I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, you are always welcome back here, and I'll be awaiting my script, but I'll be hitting you up in the meantime. Like, bro, did you see this film? Bro, did you see this film? Did you see this film? Listen, you are officially a member of the ICC family. And my last question for you is, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
My favorite flavor, butter pecan, hands down. Stop! I'm old school. Butter pecan. I used to go in the fridge, and my mother kept her own butter pecan Haagen-Dazs. I used to go in there with a spoon and just run upstairs. Butter pecan, the best one. Second, coffee. I like coffee. Anything coffee.
Butter pecan. Okay. It was funny because I was talking to one person, and I was like, they said, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Oh, do you watch P-Valley?
Nah, never even heard of that.
You don't go down in the Delta where the girls get naked.
That's a show?
No, it's a show. But I interviewed Mercedes. She's the star of the show. And I asked her, what's her favorite flavor of ice cream? And she said, butter pecan. And no, she said, I think I told her butter pecan. I was like, or do I say butter pecan? Because I'm sure I say butter pecan. But
we pecan and coffee. We pecan and coffee on this end. Pecan and coffee.
I was like pecan. Because we don't eat butter pecan. I was like, no, I like butter pecan.
Yeah, we like pecan. We like the butter pecan. Yeah, that's my favorite ice cream, hands down. I don't eat it anymore unless I find it vegan. I recently became vegan during COVID. I saw myself getting really fat, and I always wanted to be vegan since I gave up red meat when I was 19.
Okay.
So I wanted to make the transition. I had tried before and failed, and then I was just seeing how COVID was like really wasn't doing too much. So I was like, all right, this is the time. Let me go vegan now. Okay. So I did.
All right. Well, listen, I'm about to go downstairs and eat a hamburger, so I'm gonna let you go.
Enjoy. All right. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much for being with us, and we will definitely continue to support you.
All right. Likewise. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ice cream conversation. Ice cream conversation.